Hey guys, how's it going? Just wanted to take a few minutes and talk about Utah's real estate market. You may have read some national headlines regarding how market's doing and things like that, but keep in mind that Utah real estate and real estate in general is highly local. And so I wanted to talk specifically about Salt Lake and Utah counties here in Utah and some key indicators that kind of gauge how the market's going. And what I look at first is something called absorption rate. So we'll look at things like how many homes have sold in the last 3 months, divide that by 3. So we've got a month average of homes sold, and then look at the current amount of inventory, and that gives us our absorption rate and that supply. And so even within that, we've got some different benchmarks to look at because price does matter. The median home price in Utah and Salt Lake counties is around $325,000. So if you take that median home price and go around $350,000 and below, our absorption rate or our current inventory for that price point in Utah County is about a month's worth of inventory, and same with Salt Lake County, you've actually got a little bit less. And so what you're going to see when that happens is not a lot of selection, multiple offers, things going really quickly in that price point. And this takes into account single family homes, townhomes, condos, things of that nature as well. So something to keep in mind. If we go to the next price point or tier, we go to the 350 to 600 range. And in Utah County, we've got about 3 months worth of inventory. So in a normal market, we'll have 3 to 6 months, give or take, of inventory where you've got a good balance of things going quickly depending on the property versus bargains for buyers and things like that. And homes tend to be a little bit more expensive in Salt Lake County, so that 350 to 600 range gives us about 2 months worth of inventory there. So not a lot of selection. You're probably going to be paying close to list price if it's priced right. So that's something you want to talk about as well with your agent as you're going to list in that price point. 600,000 and above. In Salt Lake County, again, homes tend to go for a little bit more. So you've got about 4 months worth of inventory. So now you've got some competition. Things are staying on the market a little bit longer. In Utah County, it's even more different. You've got 7 months worth of inventory of homes that are priced above $600,000 or more. And so with these homes, especially luxury homes, higher end homes, homes with a lot of property, you really need to, if you're listing with that price point, you've got to have somebody that has a really specific marketing strategy to make your home stand out from the rest. You've got to make sure that you're pricing your home right. You're going to get the best exposure to those buyers that are looking in that price point. Otherwise, you could be sitting on the market forever. You could be dropping your price forever, and it kind of gives you a bad stigma with, hey, they keep dropping their price, what's wrong with it, those kinds of things. And the same thing can happen with those other price points if it's not priced correctly. The good news for buyers right now is that interest rates are at a 2-year low. Compared to 2007, 2008, I know a lot of people have PTSD about that time, and they're scared to buy homes, and they're seeing a lot of, wondering if same thing's going to happen. At that time, we had mortgage interest rates around 6 3/4, 6.75. Right now, like I said, we're at a 2-year low and hovering around 3.5, about 3.75, give or take in that, just depending on credit, things like that. And this is all for a 30-year fixed mortgage. So what that means for buyers is you've got a lot more buying power. You're going to pay less per month for more house, and that's a good thing. So if you're wondering, why housing is so unaffordable and prices are so high and how can I afford it, now's the time to buy. And because interest rates are so low, you can actually keep your payment pretty low and afford more home in that situation. So something to keep in mind. Average days on market, again, overall for the Wasatch Front is about 40 days. And again, that depends on the price point. The Bureau of Labor Statistics reports that Utah has a 2.8% unemployment rate. So basically there are jobs out there. If you want a job and want to work, you can find something, and most people are employed. And so that's a good thing, driving our economy. On those national reports, you're seeing places like New York and LA taken into account. And actually businesses are leaving there and coming inland to places like Utah to be a little more tax friendly and things like that. And so we'll talk about that in a second as well. Utah also ranks number 2 nationally for job creation, and that's one of the things that is driving our housing market right now. So there are a lot of people that want to be here. Since 2000, since 2010 to 2018, we've actually, our population has grown by 14%. It's projected to continue to grow because companies are coming here. We have Amazon that is building a new fulfillment center in the west side of Salt Lake Valley. They're going to create 800 more jobs, paying between $12 and $15 an hour. We've got Facebook that's building a data center in Saratoga Springs that's going to add a couple hundred jobs, as well as all the companies that are already here. We've got 2 universities with 30,000 plus students in Utah County. We've got Vivint, we've got Adobe, we've got Intermountain Healthcare, which employs quite a few people. We've got doTERRA's headquarters in Pleasant Grove in Utah County, I Am Flash in Lehigh, Entrada, New Skin, all big time companies, big time employers. And so again, the job market is great here, and that's what's driving that market up. It's not irresponsible lending like we had back in 07, 08. People with stellar credit are actually buying homes now and not doing the stated income types of things that we got in trouble with back then. And so if you're having PTSD, you're waiting for the market to drop. I just don't see it happening here in Utah, especially because with the demand, excuse me, and the desirability to be here. If, I should say, when there's a recession, I don't think that the housing market is going to take much of a hit. What we've seen and what I think would happen is that year over year, we've had double-digit growth, 10%, 11% with equity in homes. And when the recession hits, if the housing market's affected at all, I'm going to predict that that's going to slow down to more like 4 or 5% year over year growth. So it won't be the fast pace that it's been, but I still think it's going to be growing because of the desirability to live here. All this data, especially the homes sold and the values, is only available to realtors. So even Utah is a non-disclosure state. And so what that means is we can't share sold data with third-party sites that you've seen online that'll give you some kind of an estimate on what your home's value is worth. The real way to find out is to talk to me. And if you are in the market to buy something, let's chat too and see what we can get you for the most bang for your buck. I can recommend a great team of mortgage lenders as well, and put you in touch with the right people to make the process as smooth as possible. If you have any questions, if you have any comments, for sure, let me know, and I'm happy to help out in any way I can. Thanks, everybody. Have a great day. Bye.